Well, well, well. What I mean is, well, 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 well. Oh, yeah. You know. Got something a little bit different for you today. Let you into a little secret. And actually, we're going to talk about that old indicator, if you remember that one, of another video. Yeah, the one that looks great. Well, I had it made into an EA. Got it. Sheesh, kebabs. I got my, I got a man to code it for me. Code a friend of mine out in the wilderness. And it didn't work out too good. That doesn't mean say it's no good. What it means is that I haven't found any settings for it. But I'm just not sure what to do with it. Alright, so we'll just start, shall we? Here we go. We've had a bit more. Hang on. Alright, a couple more bars. Oh yeah. Alright then, let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Come on, we're going to bore everybody to death now. What we got then is, I'm not going to, let's talk about, it's this one. Right. Now remember this indicator from a previous video where I thought I was onto something. And I think I found it on the 4 hour. It looked kind of reasonable, as you can see. It does look reasonable, doesn't it? You know, it gets to a reasonable target. But I haven't, see, this is the trouble, it's the whipsaw. And how do you get out of this whipsaw? How do you get round whipsaw? Whipsaw is the scourge of the earth, unless you're a bit like me who will just like trade the range, which is kind of, I've been doing that today actually. Had a good day today. I'm still on track, as it were, for my targets. Trading the plan, as they say. Plan the trade and trade the plan. I've got to turn this music down. See, look, it's a bit loud, doesn't it, in the background? Yeah, we'll just get it right down. There you go. Anyway, this indicator, I had it made into a robot, an EA, and it worked. I back tested it, and I got some reasonable results on the 15-minute. Anyway, as often is the case, you can see by this that it's all lovely red. It isn't doing too good at the minute. But, so because that happened, oh God, what have I got here? Because that happened, I created a reversal version of it. So, let's have a look, where have I got it? Where's pod? Here's pod. So I created a reversal of it, thinking, oh, I'll just get the pullback. So what was happening was, let me just pull this out a bit. So instead of buying here, I would sell it. And actually that worked for a day and then stopped working. So I think what I probably need to do, so this is the EA, it's still running here, look. And what I probably need to do is find some settings where the ratios work out okay. At the moment I've been running, it's on the wrong screen. I've been running it like a 1-to-5 and it started to make money. I was like 60 odd pips up for a week or so, and then eventually it's taking it all back, like you can see today, because it's just been whipsawed to Billio, and it's 20 pips every time. Of course, once you're out, often it'll pull back and then set off again, which is part of the reason behind the pod EA, the reversal version up there. Excuse me, I've got lots of wind. Well, not a massive, but I've got a bit of wind popping up. So, as it stands, that indicator looks great on paper, but you wouldn't be able to use it. Or rather, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't use indicators anyway. But I did have a little go with this, thinking, well, wouldn't it be nice if you could just... Because this thing will alert you to your phone and all sorts that it's happened. But I think it's got to be done on the 4 hour. And somehow you've got to manage, somehow it's got to be managed through this period here. Let me see if I can stop this scrolling. And we'll zoom in a bit. Hang on a minute. I'm all over the microphone here. Can you hear me coming in and out and in and out? The cat's not here today, by the way. He was, but the daughter came in and he followed her out. So let's just get rid of the fixed scale so we can move it about. All right, here we go. So So let's walk back through this where I was on about. So this is where the buy signal comes in. It comes in at the close of candle, and you would have bought. I'll be honest with you, that's like a textbook trade, that is, isn't it? Look at that, 500 pips, 400. It just touches 500, so allow a bit of room for spread and things like that. And then it pulls back down to here. So this is where it would have exited. So if you didn't manage that trade, it was only 168 pips. That's a lot of pips to leave on the table, isn't it? So that's why I was trying to get it where there was a stop loss and a ratio. So like this one here, it didn't make it made 160 pips and then come back to a 312 pip loss. In actual fact, it would have come out there at 280 pip loss on the 4 hour. This is, of course. But then it says to buy here. I don't know if you're getting that, but it's just my email alerts and things. So that would tell you to buy at that point, but then realise, or rather you would realise quickly that it didn't come out. And if you leave this to run on its own, that's what it does. It comes out, it swaps over the trade every time it pings an arrow. So that'll be 358 pips then. So already all these pips are gone. Is that 358? Hold the line, caller. Yeah, it is 350 pips. It's the 4 hour chart, isn't it? So then if you'd have got in there, you would have got to about 170 and you would have come out there. So you would have got 17 pips, sorry, on that. Yuck. Not very much, is it, really? Right, so what's that? Okay, I was just checking my numbers there. I had at that moment. So when you get into these kind of things here, where it just whipsaws you out, I mean, these are like 100 pip losses every time, look. And more. Bigger. Look, that's 100 and odd pips. So it's knowing really when it's going to do that. If somebody could figure that out, I'd pay them good money for it. If they could figure out, how do we know this is going to make a 500 pip move? Because that's what it does. If you look back here, it makes a 500 pip move, consolidates, whatever they call it. It's trading speak. And then it does it again. And right now, it looks like it's doing that consolidation phase until here. So this is the entry, the close of this candle. 500 pips. I wonder if you could do it so that so that's 50 pip stop. I bet if you had a 100 pip stop on that. Maybe I should test this on the 4 hour and just leave it for a couple of months and then update you guys later. Anyway, so that's what's going on with that. Right now it's losing a ton of money. But I also want to show you the special EA. And I call it the special EA. See how much is that there? See, this is 100 pips down the drain. I'm just not sure you could make money with this. If I thought you could make money with it, I'd put it out there. You know, I would, honestly. And it may be that I just give it away at some point. I'm not sure yet. It looks really good, but I don't know how you'd... maybe somebody could work with me on this, I don't know. It's just finding somebody that you can trust not to give it away, really. Because there's work gone into that, obviously. And money. But anyway, I'll worry about that another time. Let's have a look. Let's have a look then at... let's have a look. Oh. This other one, where has it gone? Hold the line, caller. I'm not very smooth today, am I? I'm about as smooth as a barbed wire fence. I'm as smooth as a cheese grater, baby. Hold the line. Right, oh, there it is. So, what I've got is this EA, I do know works. Because I've traded this and doubled an account with it. It wasn't a massive amount, but it needed to be a reasonable amount for you to survive, really. Now, the scary thing about this is how good it looks. And it does this in forward test as well, by the way. I literally took an account with, I think I put 500 GBP in it. And it's doubled it. And I withdrew it. And then I kind of lost courage with it. Because I think I got trapped a couple of times with this. It took 5 I think it was 5.5 or 6 weeks to double the account. Now, obviously, this isn't without risk. In version 1, there was no risk management with it. It was just a trade thing. And what this does is Martingale. I thought we'd have a play with this while I'm here. We'd do some testing. But look at this for a return. So that's 30-odd%, is it? 32.56. The modelling quality is not that important on this because it doesn't do anything till the close of a candle. Again. And it's a pretty standard rule that it uses. So it lost £77, but it won 418. It's quite good, this is, but it's Martingale. You can turn the Martingale off it, and I did have some settings once where it would work, but over time we found that because my brother and I have worked on this for a number of years, and we found that it works best with Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. And I think that's because the moves are not quite as ferocious on that as some of the other pairs, say. Well, if you go the other end of the spectrum, like the pound, Japanese yen, that moves an awful lot more. Anyway, the idea here is I'm going to just see if we can get some. Before, when I did it on the 1 minute chart. Now this is I'll show you this running there. So this is it running on the 5 minute chart with these particular settings. I don't know if you got that squeak, but it's an awful noise, isn't it? What if I could mute that? I don't know if you got that actually, because I haven't got no meters to tell me what's going through yours. But anyway, these settings are the ones I've made the account double with, but on the 1 minute chart, and this is why EAs don't work. So if I switch this to 1 minute, it's exactly the same settings. Hang on, I'll bring them over so you can see them. Right, so same settings. So this is the money management type, which is Martingale in this case. You can turn that off, like I said. So this is a British account, so it's 10p per pip. It starts off with, and then this is the take profit, and every 4.5 pips it adds a trade and doubles it because it's Martingale. But it only what we've done is restricted the amount of trades it can do, and we've restricted the amount of loss because a Martingale account you can blow thousands and thousands up. So I figured that if you could make it sure that you're only ever risking this much money and it returns more than that in a month, then it's not so bad, is it? You could probably get, if you got your finger, I don't know how it would work out. The trouble is with testing shorter time frames like 5 minutes. And actually the trouble with back testing in general is that it's never quite the same as forward testing. And you'd have to forward test or just forward test live. That's what we did in the end. We just got so fed up of it, we just put the money in and did it. And quite happy with what it did. My brother, I think he quadrupled his account. And then he had and then he got his fingers burnt with it. And I think he got his maximum loss at about 500. So he pulled out of it. So we kind of both stopped just doing it at the same time because we don't like losing. We only like it when it wins. Don't we all? Anyway, I'm going to try these settings now in 1 minute and we can watch how they play out. So in 1 minute, here it goes. That was quick, wasn't it? It survived, but look at this. This is the reward here, 60. It didn't get stopped out, so it made 83, lost 21. Ironically, it makes more on the 5 minute, doesn't it? So let's have a look at the 5 minute again. Make sure it's still. I don't know about you, but I've noticed inconsistencies with back testing sometimes. No, that's the same. That's the same. So we proved that that's better. Let's have a look then. What happens if I put it on the 15 minute? I've found these settings earlier and I'm thinking, because I might just give this away, this EA. See, that's what. So this is what happens if it hits your maximum drawdown. Now remember, this is a completely different time frame, so you'd have to move all the settings anyway. But this is just to show you what happens. So you start, a nice little equity climb there, and then kaboom! I don't believe it. It has taken away all my money. It has taken away all my money. And then it goes and does it again. Look. So what this is where it's got 5 positions open. So if the first one was 1, it'd be 2, 4, 8, 16. So if it was one lot, it'd be 16 lots by there before you got whacked by it. Now I could probably just show you what I can do with that. So I'm going to show you what happens if you take the money management off it. So what I've done is took the limit loss off it and gone like this. There we go. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? So if you're willing to risk everything in your account, it still only makes £200. So you can see by this, hang on, by making this trade frequently, it's like scalping really. It's only taking 4.5 pips profit. I tell you what I do, actually, I'll put it in a visual mode, and then you'll be able to see it working. Let's go, shall we see it go to work? Hands up if you want to see it go to work. Yeah, you at the back as well. I knew you'd put your hand up. You're dirty though. All right, okay. Let's get this show on the road. Yes, and you. Yes, all right. Yes, okay. You can watch it too. So we go to the settings. We'll put it in visual mode. This is going to be a little bit slow, but we won't watch it all. We'll try and. Oh, I've got to find the chart, which is probably up here somewhere. Yeah, it's coming up here. It's just downloading a load of data now. Oh, now I've got to talk to you while this is all happening. I'll just pause and unpause so that you haven't got to wait for all that data to download. Alright, let's slow this down then. So if you look at this, what's happened here, let's just put that somewhere nice. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 positions that bought. Oh, sorry, there comes the 5th position. There. So they were all a buy. So at this point, they've come out and made some money. And now it's selling again by the looks. What's it doing? Alright, so we've got sells open. It looks better in high speed, but it's quite a drag when you're out and about checking your phone, because this kind of thing is, you just can't interfere with it. You've got to let it, what I did was I just assigned the money into the right. That's it. If you blow up, you blow up. And it paid off, obviously. So you can see now we're trapped, as I call it. There are 5 buy trades open. So until this pulls back up to here, it stays trapped. And this is when you're this is where I struggle with these. When you're waiting, this is an overnight roll here. A boom, finally it gets it. The spike gets us out. But we're back in again. Just alternate directions. Just go for the sell. This is where the target is. And you've just got to, like I say, you can't interfere with this. You've got to let it run. It's a lot of time, isn't it, when you're stuck in, there's the 5th position. This moves the target closer. So the deeper it gets, the more likely you are to survive. But if you don't survive, it's going to be quite painful. Harry. It's interesting, isn't it, watching it though? I tell you, I'm fascinated. Yeah, see, now how scared would you be if you happen to be awake at that time watching that? Now you're really panicking. You've been stuck in this all day. I can tell you that I was trapped for 4.5 days in one position. But it didn't stop out, and it did give me more money. Now bear in mind I haven't had to lift a finger to do it. It just does it for you. I mean, you can't sort of grumble really. So what we're looking for now is this high not being a real high, and it's going to reject now and see how it does it. But it's not adding any more risk, and don't forget the risk that you've got is what you've set the maximum at. I think we set it to 250, haven't we? So £250. So if it's a £500 account, you're risking 50%, which is massive. But if it was a £25,000 account, you're not risking very much at all, are you really? I'm not good enough with maths to be able to tell you what that is. But I don't really care. I'm not bothered. No. So shoot me. Who cares? Right, here we go. Come on, this time, baby. You look like you're on the way down now, or we're going to be. Oh, we can look at that. It's a buy trade, isn't it? Oh, I was trying to get this one out, and then we'll finish talking about it and wrap the video up probably. Like I said, I might be doing a giveaway for this in the near future. I think I need to get a few more subscribers though to make it worth my while, because 200 people. What out of that? If I get 1% take it, that's 2. It's not enough, really, is it, to make it worth? I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a face reveal. I'm going to reveal what my face looks like, because apparently that's what people do on YouTube. A facial reveal. I say. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Reveal his face. Reveal his face. Yeah. And then as soon as you see it, you'll be going, oh my God, what a munter. He's so ugly. Bah, bah. Pass me the sick bags. He's a real dog. Oh, behave, babies. You know I'm hot. Oh, God, I'm getting so fed up of waiting for this. You imagine this in real time, though? When you just keep looking at your phone thinking, am I going to get blown up this time? Am I going to get blown up? Am I going to get blown up? See, when you're back testing and you look at like a 3-week time phase or something, then and then you don't actually realise actually how long you wait. I mean, this is like hyper speed, 5 minutes a bar, and we're already getting fed up of waiting. So you imagine, you can see now I've been trapped since this day, so that's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Tell you what though, helps build your nerve up. Look at that nice range there. Yesterday's high, time to bounce. Got to bounce off this one then. Well, it must come out at some point because we know we didn't lose. Now imagine if you were in there, you were thinking, oh, I should have come out here. The psychology you'd be going through on this, the emotions would be just tremendous, wouldn't they? Oh, I should have come out here. I do apologise if that's ringing up. I'm getting an email alert and I'm not sure. Oh, boom! One news spike does it. I'm not sure that would actually be real. Or would it? I'm not sure what the spread would have been there. See, this is where back testing is not necessarily real because the spreads... I've set it to 2, which is slightly bigger than the spread anyway I get, which is 1.7 to 1.9 roughly on my broker. Linked below. There you go. So then it's gone back in and it's out. See, what you want is like a whipsaw market, which is... Well, they say the market trends about 30% of the time. So I think it's fair to say 30% of the time you're at quite a big risk. You know what I mean? Yes. If it's 30% trending and this thing just keeps going, then it doesn't whipsaw back down. Then you're stuck. Right, let's have a look at this now. I'm going to stop this. I'll just stop it. Oh, God, that noise, that squeak. It's ear piercing, isn't it? Shall we have a look at the results now? No, I wanted to show you the results I want to show you. Let's just make this bigger. I think that's what she said last night. Oh, matron. Really? So, yeah, here's a good example of how it works now. So you've got 5 positions that have closed. One of them's took a loss. The second one's taken a loss. And this one, and you can see when you get to the big position, look at the value of that. For me, that's £1.60 in the UK. Although I don't trade in the UK now, courtesy of ESMA. We won't go there. See my other videos. So that's a big win. So that kind of... Then when that happens, by the way, bear in mind I have traded this with real money, and I'm not lying. When that happens and you get your money back, it's like mega relief. It's honestly, it's like you've just had like a dose of drugs or something. Something to make your life a whole lot better. It's like, you got that special stuff. Yeah, it's called a winning trade. What, do you want some special stuff? You got some winning trades for me? All right, okay, all right. I think we've had enough of this. Should we call it a day? Let's get ready for close down then, because I have to play a little bit of music for my friends out there. Got a couple of friends now. Might have 2. It's on in the background ready. We'll bring it up in a minute. Anyway, so I think I'm going to hold on. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to spend a bit more time on that one. I think. I don't know. Actually, do you know what I might do? I'll tell you what. Shall I get this robot running in the background? And we'll have an update on that soon. What do you think? I'll tell you what. It's unusual for me to ask for anything, but if... do we want to see... This robot's called Leora. This is the one that I've doubled my money with in the past. Her name is Leora. And if you want to see that one, drop a comment. Just put... You've only got to put Leora or Pod. There's nothing more needed. I wish I could do. I knew how to do a vote, but I'm just not clever enough with YouTube. All right. So what's that one? Oh, that's not the one. Hang on. Oh, it is. Yeah, that's Pod. Right. So Pod was this one, if you remember. So do we do a 4-hour test with that, which I reckon will take bloody months to get a result from? Look at that. 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. That's like 3 weeks worth of waiting, isn't it? Or shall we test this in a live, not a live situation? I don't think I could do it live. Not at the moment, because it'll spoil my growth plan, which is working out quite well. So we can test. Right, so the vote is Leora or Pod. This is Leora. This is Pod. We're going to back test Pod on the 4-hour. Leora. Oh, what's that? Leora on the 5-minute. How about that? Yes or no? In or out? Up or down? Us or them? Takes me back to my Pink Floyd days. Right, here we go. Us and them. Yes. All you Pink Floyd fans will know that. I know, I used to know it. I used to know every goddamn knock, tick, whistle, everything in it. I still like it, actually. I just don't play these days. Right, here we go. I'm going to go. It's time to get some music up for their friends out there. My gang of mate, as they say. Got to go down the Lamborghini shop today. Yeah. Got a little mark on the leather I want to get taken out. So I'm going to have to go now. So Mrs. She got blue jeans and it marks it when she gets in on the passenger side, and I just don't like it. I've got to keep it pristine. They fly a mechanic out to service that, you know. Amazing. Oh, luck. You know what's happened there, don't you? It's stopped. So we're going to be back to the beginning at this rate. So that means I've got to restart it. And I'm going to I'll forward fast it a bit because there's a bit of a breakdown in the middle. We'll have that. Right then, I'm going. Take care. What I really mean is take care of those close to you. Be kind to somebody else. Give to charity. A little bit. Help the old people next door. If you've got any. If not, next door but one, etc., etc. And make some children laugh as well. That's always a good way to get through life. Toodaloo!